Coming up next, people in our area are showing their support for Ukraine after the Russian invasion.
Слава Україні, героям слава і смерть нашим ворогам. That means glory to Ukraine, glory to the heroes, and death to our enemies.
Plus, how an EMS shortage could cause serious problems in central Pennsylvania.
And we talk with the owner of a local art gallery who says he's being forced out of his storefront. The Center County Report starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Jada Pender.
And I'm Charles Reinert. Thanks for joining us on the Center County Report. Our top story, Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine continues right now. But Ukrainian troops have slowed Russia's advance and so far held on to the capital and other cities, at least for now. Amid resistance and sanctions, Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered Russia's nuclear forces on high alert over the weekend, threatening to elevate the war to a new level. Anti-war and pro-Ukraine events are being held around the world, including in our area. Reporter Jordan Hessian has that story.
The Russian invasion of Ukraine has been the focus of the world the last 5 days. Members of the Penn State Ukrainian Society and members of the State College community gathered Thursday night in front of the Allen Street gates, waving flags and signs in unity against the invasion. Maria Smareka, a first-generation Ukrainian American and president of the Penn State Ukrainian Society, expressed her appreciation.
I'm beyond grateful just to see people who, Ukrainians, Ukrainian Americans, Russians, Russian Americans, just people who have, no ties to Russia or Ukraine or anything that's going on, no personal ties, coming out here and supporting us because they know that we're hurting right now and we're struggling, and that really means a lot, especially for, like I said, many of us who have personal ties to this.
Fellow first-generation Ukrainian American and vice president of the Penn State Ukrainian Society, Sofia Datsko, voiced her reaction to news of the invasion.
My immediate reaction was distress, a little bit of tears, definitely. Heart was beating and racing. I have family there as well. We quickly got into contact with them. It's a very nerve-wracking situation, especially because it happened in the wee hours of the morning, and it was very sudden. Sure, there were warning signs, it was expected, but nobody expected it to happen last night like the way that it did. So, I was very disturbed.
Support rallies of Ukraine have spawned from U.S. cities like Hartford, Connecticut, and Washington, D.C. to countries like Germany and Israel. Datsko conveyed her patriotism uttering an historic Ukrainian slogan.
Слава Україні, героям слава і смерть нашим ворогам. That means glory to Ukraine, glory to the heroes, and death to our enemies.
The strength and resiliency of the Ukrainian people against tyranny has created a global spark. Much of the world has shown unity through rallies and lighting landmarks in yellow and blue. Reporting in State College, I'm Jordan Hessian for the Center County Report.
Protests are expected to continue this week in State College, and Pennsylvania is reacting in other ways too. The State Liquor Control Board has ordered the removal of Russian-made products to show support for Ukraine.
Pennsylvania U.S. Congressman Glenn Thompson has also issued a statement calling the invasion unwarranted and the most significant infringement in Europe since World War II. Thompson said the attack calls for a strong response from our U.S. and our allies. Thompson and fellow Congressman Fred Keller are also affected by Pennsylvania's new congressional district map. The state Supreme Court ruled on the new map last week, setting new boundaries. Center County will now be entirely in the 15th district, which is represented by Thompson. Keller, who's in the 12th right now, is also running the new 9th district. The court picked a map that was proposed by a group of Democratic-aligned voters who sued last year to get the court involved.
The number of new COVID cases continues to drop in our area this week. Today, Mount Nittany Medical Center is caring for 16 COVID patients. That's down 8 since last Sunday. Statewide, COVID-19 hospitalizations have fallen nearly 30%, and Penn State University says it's evaluating the latest CDC guidance on masking. As COVID cases drop, the State College area school district is starting to make changes with its health and safety plan. Starting March 28th, the district hopes to make masks optional district-wide. To protect high-risk students and staff, the district will provide KN95 masks to people who want them. The district meets again on the COVID plan in mid-March.
State College Police are expected to release incident numbers from this week from State Patty's Day weekend, the student-inspired annual drinking holiday. Meredith Lee reports.
In State College, the weekend after Thon and before spring break marks a major holiday for Penn State students over 21, State Patties. The St. Patrick's spinoff started in 2007 when spring break had been scheduled over the real holiday, and the tradition has only become more popular since then. So much so that Penn State University paid bars to stay closed on that weekend in 2013 and 2014. But not this year. Penn State and the State College Borough Police released their annual warning to students last Wednesday, stating that they would maintain a robust law enforcement presence throughout the weekend. Celesta Powell, a manager of Happy Valley Restaurants, gave us insight about how bars would be managing an increased crowd and strict policy enforcement.
We respect the fact that State Patty's Day is a student-run holiday, and so we just really try to make sure they're getting the best enjoyment out of their holiday if they choose to celebrate it with us. But as always, just like you always do at the first, you have fun, but you got to stay in control and be responsible while you're here. So we hope to see that from the crowd. We appreciate they'll be here, and we welcome the fact that we have been involved in State Patty's Day since the very beginning.
It appears to be business as usual on this quiet Sunday in downtown State College. Many students are giving eyewitness testimony that tells the story of the utter chaos that developed last night at State Patty's.
There were definitely a lot more cop cars driving through downtown. Also a lot more ambulances. There were ambulances stopped outside of Cafe, I think, for a while early in the day. I didn't see anybody get loaded in, I think, which is a precautionary thing, but there were a lot more cop cars and a lot more ambulances than expected.
Everywhere you walked, there was cops. Everywhere you walked, there was cops. And I have the utmost respect for State College Police Department, but at the same time, it's like, come on. You know that State Patties is going to happen either way. You know people are going to be drinking. You don't got to use scare tactics like sending these vicious emails. And when I say vicious, they were kind of vicious. Sent to everyone.
I'm generally pretty safe, and my friends are pretty safe when we're going out together and we stay together. So I wasn't nervous about doing anything that would get myself in trouble. But I definitely think that the messages that they were sending out were pretty threatening. And I understand that they want everybody to be safe, which is really good. But I think there could maybe be a better way to go about it.
Even Chris Rosengrant, owner of the Lion's Den, shared his insight on the events of the weekend.
You'd be better off drinking in a bar than drinking in a private residence. Just if we're talking about overall safety for people, right? Because I think more problems happen when there's not an adult around or supervision around. The only nuisances come from people that come from out of town, but it's, in my opinion, it's not Penn State students.
The State College Police Department will be releasing their statistics about crime over State Patties later this week. In State College, I'm Meredith Lee for Center County Report.
We'll keep you updated when police release those weekend numbers.
After sitting empty for years, the historic Bush House location in Bellefonte will soon be a part of a new construction project. The Bellefonte waterfront project was delayed 2 years by COVID, but now there's hope construction will finally start this summer. It would include a hotel, residential condos, and a parking garage. The project includes 25,000 square feet of commercial space along Spring Creek and Dunlap Street.
Another medical marijuana dispensary in State College is now open on South Atherton Street. Curaleaf takes the place of the old Citizens Bank building and still uses some of its old features. Like many other Pennsylvania dispensaries, Curaleaf offers all forms of cannabis permitted by the state. The only other dispensary in the area is Nature's Medicine on North Atherton and opened in 2018. No appointment is needed, but a medical marijuana card and a valid ID are required.
One State College shop is being forced to shut its doors after 41 years of business. Jenny Hugel takes a closer look.
Douglas Albert's Art Gallery has been a fixture along McAllister Alley in State College for over 40 years. He's watched from the windows of his beloved shop as the town grew around him. He wants to keep the gallery going, but he says his landlord won't renew his lease, so he'll be forced to close in April.
It completely blindsided me. It's not like I owed a dime in back rent to the landlord, and the landlord would not give any explanation on why she wouldn't renew my lease.
Albert says the lease normally renews every year, but changed to a month-to-month in 2020, and a deal made with the property management company over COVID-19 relief.
I thought everything was fine, but apparently there's something in motion here, and then I'm not part of the long-range plans that the person who owns this building has for this space.
Many local business owners here in State College are starting to see changes as the small mom-and-pop shops are closing and are being replaced by commercial businesses.
Many locally owned specialty shops are finding it tough to compete with corporate chains that have been moving in recent years, but local owners like Albert refuse to just roll over.
I hope that I can reemerge stronger and better and be able to still stay in the community.
Douglas is now looking into relocating his collection to continue his business here in Happy Valley. In State College, I'm Jenna Hugel for the Center County Report.
Albert hopes he'll be able to pick up right where he's leaving off in a new location. He says he's grateful for the support he's received from the community.
Still to come on the Center County Report, we check the 7-day forecast to see if it'll warm up this week.
Plus, how the State College community has turned a tragedy into a positive program to help others. Also coming up, we'll tell you how funding worries may have an effect on emergency services in our area.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
You're doing great. We're gonna try this again, okay?
Okay.
Wheels, pedals, handlebar, brakes. Sit up straight, keep your weight in the center, keep your eyes on the road, hands on the grips, button the seat. If we feel ourselves falling, what do?
Just keep pedaling.
Good girl. Now remember, it's all about balance and steering. Steer with your hands, steer with your body. Steer into the corners and you stay out of trouble. And the bell's your buddy, so go ahead and ding that. All right, ready? Here we go. Pedal, honey, pedal. There you go, you're a bike rider.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
When you need to call 911, you need an ambulance right away. But there's an increasing concern that may not happen in parts of Pennsylvania, as the shortage of EMS workers gets worse. Madeline Zarkowski has more.
If there wasn't an ambulance readily available, it would have been the difference between life or death.
Penn State student Emma Geyser needed an ambulance in State College after an allergic reaction. The crew arrived within minutes. But with a shortage of EMS drivers, ambulances may soon take much longer to arrive.
So if it would have taken any longer, I probably wouldn't have been able to breathe at all and probably could have passed out, or just my heart would have stopped working.
Local EMTs tell us Medicare and Medicaid only reimburse them for the time they're treating and transporting patients. Medicare only reimburses about 60% of the service. Medicaid, 25 to 30%. Local first responders say about 70% of their patients are covered by these insurances.
That makes it very difficult when you have
fixed overhead costs. You have staff that are here on station 24 hours a day waiting for someone to call 911. That's still an expense that we're incurring, even though we're not generating revenue at that point in time.
The funding problem affects equipment too.
We have to run our vehicles longer and longer, and sometimes they can get to the point of being unreliable.
And employees' budgets.
Another thing is it's not a job to raise a family on. Some EMTs and paramedics are working one full-time job and a part-time job or 2 part-time jobs.
Funding problems also make it tough to maintain and recruit new staff. The EMT staff shortage raises concerns on busy weekends like State Patties, a weekend known for underage drinking, which leads to a rise in the need for emergency services each year. On busy weekends, EMTs in our area get more calls than usual, and now there are fewer ambulance drivers.
There's usually a much higher increase of drinking in town, drinking alcohol, and which leads to an increased call for alcohol overdoses.
If the lack of funding continues, Rote worries about what's next.
If you call 911, is somebody going to be there to respond? At what point in time?
In State College, I'm Madeline Zarkowski for the Center County Report.
Rote encourages people to go to their local ambulance service wherever they live and buy an annual membership. It counts as income to them, and he says all those contributions make a big difference.
Clear skies and sunshine out here today as we take a live look at our Beaver Stadium. But don't let that sunshine fool you. It's pretty chilly out here today, sitting at just 30 degrees right now, so you're definitely going to want to pack that jacket on your way out the door this morning. Now, if we take a live look at our temperatures in this area, 30 degrees in State College, slightly warmer, 38 down in Harrisburg. And as you can see, we have this wind stemming down from the north here, bringing this colder air to our region, cooler 26 up in Bradford. Now, if we take a look at our radar and satellite, not much to see here today. There's a few clouds over in the west, but not much of a story here in Pennsylvania. And as we take a broader look at our map, like I said, not much across the board here. However, we are looking at this storm system up in the northwest, up near Portland, and we're looking at this mixed precipitation and rain over in here. But besides that system, not much going on here today. Wherever you are, you should be seeing clear skies. Now, if we take a look at our future cast, our next chance of precipitation is on Wednesday evening into Thursday morning. We're looking at rain and some mixed precipitation up in the northern parts of Pennsylvania. That system clears out, and we have our next chance of rain coming in this weekend, Saturday evening into Sunday morning. We can see we have this system stemming in from the west here, making its way over to Pennsylvania, and we'll see the real washout on Sunday with some heavier rain in PA. However, this system makes its way out fairly quickly, and we'll be taking a break from that rain Sunday evening. Now, taking a look at today, 35 degrees in State College, some clouds this morning, but clearing out throughout the day today. And for tonight, falling back to just 24 degrees, clear night tonight with a few clouds in the sky. For tomorrow, I am very excited, warming up to 51 degrees tomorrow, so you're definitely going to want to get out and enjoy that warm weather tomorrow with partly cloudy skies. Taking a look at our 7-day forecast, like I said, warming up tomorrow, 51 degrees, still warm on Wednesday, 48, a bit colder on Thursday, and we have that rain coming in this weekend, PM showers on Saturday, and as we move over into Sunday, that rain will carry on. We'll see some pretty heavy showers on Sunday, but we'll be left with some warm temperatures.
Well, I'm definitely ready for that warm weather.
I'm really excited to put back on some shorts and maybe even a pair of sunglasses.
Right?
And now Brooke Stake with sports.
Thanks, guys. Even though winter activities are starting to wrap up, we still have plenty of action to break down. Coming up, an update on high school basketball playoffs. And we've got all the updates on Penn State's men's basketball senior night. That and more next in sports.
Todd's a great guy.
I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Hi, I'm Peter, and there's nothing I love more than sharing vegetables with my friends. Come on in! Help yourself to anything. That's why we give our food the utmost respect it deserves. Did you know there are simple steps we can all take to help save food? You can cook it, store it, even share it. Just don't waste it. Because when it comes to food, better late than never. To learn more, visit SaveTheFood.com.
This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans. Because love has no labels.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, excuse me, sit up straight, hold doors open for ladies. If the door's locked, knock first. Don't burp, don't swear, don't stare, don't use bad language, or talk with your mouth full. Keep your elbows off the table.
What table?
And don't interrupt. Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. On the bus, give your seat up to anybody who has trouble standing. Bottom line, treat others the way you want to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
Good talk.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
I'm Brooke Stake with sports. The State High Little Lions girls and boys basketball teams are heading back to the District 6 basketball championships tonight. The games were supposed to be held Friday night, but were moved because of the ice storm. They're tonight at Mount Aloysius College. The girls tip off at 6 p.m. while the boys are followed right after at 7:30. Penn State men's basketball goes on the road this week to play Illinois on Thursday. They lost to Nebraska last night at home. That's after a big win on senior night. Here's more on the salute to the seniors. Another senior night is in the books at the Bryce Jordan Center as Penn State took on Northwestern Friday night. The Nittany Lions honored 7 seniors, including Jalen Pickett, Jelani White, Miles Dredd, Sam Sessoms, Greg Lee, Jaheim Cornwall, and fan favorite John Hara. While the Lions beat the Wildcats 67-60, Hara became the first Nittany Lion in 17 years to record a 20-rebound game. After the matchup, he said that's exactly how he pictured his senior night to go.
I think someone asked me how I would picture it senior night, and that's pretty much it right there. Go out on a win. Teammates played a great basketball game. We really responded in that second half. So to come out here and fight from a deficit, I don't know, felt good. Felt really good.
Hara also recorded 11 points on the night, along with his 4th straight double-double. As for some of his other senior teammates, Lundy and Sessoms each had 12 points on the night to help lead Penn State to the win. For Coach Micah Shrewsbury, he said this senior class means trust, and one he'll remember forever.
You know what, they all kind of put their blind trust in me, and like they didn't have to. None of them had to, and like they'll always be remembered. I'll always remember these guys.
These seniors aren't done just yet in the blue and white. After last night's final home game, they have 2 games left on the road and then the Big Ten tournament. Thursday's game tips off at 7 p.m. State College High football standout Jayshon Green has announced his commitment to Penn State. The 6'3", 170-pound defensive back and wide receiver hauled in 654 receiving yards for 12 touchdowns last season and was the 64th ranked wide receiver in Pennsylvania. Green will join Keaton Ellis and Jaden Sider, who also played at State High. It's been just over a week since Penn State hosted the 50th anniversary of Thon, the 46-hour no-sitting, no-sleeping dance marathon, and some Penn State athletes took part. Zach Gershman shows you who traded in their cleats for dancing shoes.
During the Thon pep rally, all eyes were on Penn State sports. From football's James Franklin
It is so
to be back in person for the most important event that we have every single year, which is Thon for the kids.
Basketball's Micah Shrewsbury.
They said, this place is special. But until I walked in and I see everybody out here, this place is special.
To Super Bowl champion Nick Scott. FCK for the kids, we are, baby. And while the athletes were doing their routine on stage for a couple of minutes, two of them traded in their pair of cleats for a pair of dancing shoes. Obafemi Awadesu and Ben Liscombe are both on the Penn State soccer team and danced for 46 hours at the 50th Dance Marathon. An opportunity that Liscombe, a freshman, could not pass up.
Critical my first year because I never knew if this opportunity was going to come again, and I didn't want to regret not doing it.
Before he came here, Awadesu didn't even know what Thon was. But considering Penn State's connection between athletics and the largest student philanthropy in the world, he understands the importance.
It really is like a big honor, and like I was always grateful for this opportunity, like how big it is on the 50th anniversary and all that, like that it really is a big deal.
Staying awake and standing for 46 hours isn't easy, even for college athletes. But they know it's nothing compared to what families of young cancer patients go through.
To really understand what people go through with this, like what kids are going through, and like to push through it, and there's no way that we can replicate it. Doing it for the right reasons, there's a lot of children that are affected by pediatric cancer, and if there's any way we can put a smile on their faces, even if it's just for a weekend, we're going to do it.
A weekend to remember.
That might have been the greatest Penn State memory I have so far. Doing that with my brothers, my teammates, was so special.
In University Park, I'm Zach Gershman for the Centered County Report.
The men's soccer team beat out the women's soccer team to win the Thon Pep Rally. That's all for sports. Now back to you at the anchor desk.
Thanks, Brooke. Coming up next, an impressive community effort raises tens of thousands of dollars in honor of a young State College man. See who the money will help.
Taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Finally today, a community-wide effort has raised more than $100,000 for a special scholarship. It's named after Osaze Osagi, a young man killed by police in State College. The scholarship will benefit racially underrepresented high school students with a commitment to community service. The fundraising effort is now up to $107,000, and the first $5,000 scholarship will be awarded soon. Osagi's family says it's grateful for the outpouring of love and support.
That's all for today's newscast. We hope you'll join us Friday for our next local news update.
You can follow us anytime for breaking news on our Center County Report Twitter, and you can see our stories on our Facebook page and on our website. Have a good day.